questions about a lot of brands shutting down. So is that something that ever strikes you, that I'm going to buy this watch for under $1,000 and the brand's going to shut down?
It is something that you do consider, and you should consider, obviously, keeping in money. Having said that, if everyone was concerned about that, then brands like Patek Philippe, even when they first started, they would not have survived until today, right? So you always have to have the fans recognizing the quality and supporting the brand, and also with the quality of the watchmakers that come out nowadays. Even worse comes to worse, if the brand is gone, watchmakers, if you're talented enough, which there's countless of them nowadays, they can still service your watch, they can still make parts to service your watch. So I think that is less of an issue nowadays than it was before.
Tell me a little bit about the Horology Club.
Okay, so the Horology Club started, the three of us, we actually just wanted to find more like-minded enthusiasts, and so we just started a club, started an Instagram account, and then from there we just started to do events. And then in Hong Kong we found out there's actually so many people who love watches, and now we have more than 800 members across the globe. We're looking to expand to Europe, Malaysia, and we have a very budding YouTube channel where we do educational content. But most importantly, what drove us in the first place was designing watches. Our first collaboration with the Austrian brand Habring, and that actually preceded the club. We wanted to create a watch to commemorate our friendship. And ever since then, we've then gone into different collaborations. We did 2 with Cartier, 2 special orders. Next month, we're going to be announcing one with Trilo, and we also have some projects with Sylvain Pinot, Anderson Genet in the pipeline. So
there's some cool names there.
That's our real passion, is designing watches.
Okay, amazing, great. Show us your collection. What have you got us today?
So earlier you mentioned the cloche. So this is exactly the one. So this is the Horology Club version, which I designed.
You designed this?
Yes. So we chose this kind of beautiful peach color. So we call this watch Belle Pêche, French for beautiful peach. This is made in platinum. We made 10 of these and 10 of the Sontrays. This one actually has a hidden signature in the numbers 852T. There's an H next to the 5, and then there's a C next to the 2.
Alright, let's see.
This is what I believe is the ultimate sports watch.
The ultimate sports watch?
The ultimate sports watch. I mean, nowadays, with some recent release.
Stunning.
Yes.
This is the Convex X, the
yes,
S2?
S2 double Balenciaga that Michael Jordan has as well. So if it's good enough for Michael, then it's good enough for me.
So it's an interesting mix you have here. You have the classics, you have the sport, you have a busy dial on your wrist, as I can see. Do you have, I don't like asking collectors this question because I think it's a very personal journey, but do you have a vision for what your collection should look like?
Yes, so for me, I like to operate in extremes. So as you can see, I've got watches that are very small, watches that are very large, watches that are crazy, watches that are more sedate. I always like to operate in those extremes. So I think it's just like with anything, like whether you feel like wine, you should try different things. You can't just only drink Petrus and be like, okay, I'm a wine lover. You're not. So I think with watches, what I try to do is I try to experience the best of every category. For me, best sports watch. For me, this is the best collab watch between 2 pioneering indies. Cartier, king of elegance, king of classism, and LF. I think what I believe. Lauren, after he left Patek, what I believe that Patek should have continued to do. So I think ultimately those are the areas I try to focus on. But one common theme in my ultimate collection when I'm at 80 or 90 is actually opening my watch box and actually, rather than seeing watches, seeing stories, seeing these memories. Oh, this is a watch that we did with Cartier during this time. This was a watch where I asked Max about his opinion of this, and then from there I actually developed a relationship with Max. This LF was when I visited Geneva, so a bunch of stories that tells my whole life, and then I can tell my kids this legacy.
Yeah, that's beautiful. The nicest one you've seen so far, something that's caught your attention, that hasn't made it to your collection yet.
I really like the 28 inverse Kari. I think that is one of my favorite watches. I know he's got a new version.
Yeah.
The old version is completely discontinued. But I'm happy to say that I've ordered the new version, so I'm waiting for that to come. But yeah, that would be a favorite watch of mine.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the Cubits?
I could be diplomatic, but then that would be a bit boring.
Yeah.
So honestly, I've had Patek before, and so I think I can say, you know, against that slogan, you know, you'll never own a Patek and never will. But I think the Cubitus could be a bit more, could be a bit better design. Firstly, I actually think if it's going to be a steel entry sports watch and your whole design is more about the form, I actually think it would have been better to go even thinner, go with the quartz movement, and go smaller.
Smaller, right?
Smaller, quartz, thinner, and then like say the bracelet. Right now, the bracelet is like very similar to the Nautilus bracelet. Might even be the exact same one. I haven't seen it in person. But if it's a cube, then even like the mid-links could be made into towers, for example. Go extra thin, go quartz, and go even cheaper. Entry steel, make it 20,000, 25,000 with quartz. That's okay.
Yeah.
I think also the sizing is a little bit too large. You know, maybe they'll have smaller sizes in the future, but I think you could also launch with maybe like 30, 37, 38, and afterwards come up with these complications as well. I just feel like the message that they're sending might be. That's how I would do it, but I'm sure it'll be a commercial success, and I'll never own one. And
I agree. I do think it got a lot of unnecessary hate on the internet. Yes, they could have gone smaller in size and thinner, and I do agree with the price point as well. And I think Patek needed something refreshing. I think they were being labeled as a one-watch brand for the longest time, and needless to say, they did really well. The 5711 and then discontinued it. So that strategy also worked. But yes, I think there could have been certain tweaks in the design to sort of bring some vibrancy and freshness into their new collection.
I mean, another thing is I felt like it was, for me as a collector, I don't know how I would feel. I don't have an olive dial 5711, but having an olive green dial 5711 and now you're seeing the new one from olive green dial, I would have preferred. It would have been good if they could have played with different colors. You know, red dial, purple dial, orange dial, yellow dial. You know, make it more fun, intrigue. And maybe reserve the olive for something that was a bit more special. So, I've seen that with Patek with the salmon dial. Usually, previously salmon dials were reserved for platinum pieces, very special pieces. But then recently they came out with 5320 and the 5172, both with salmon dials in white gold, and it kind of feels like it's a little bit diluted that color.
But interesting perspective. Great, super. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you. It was a pleasure
Pleasure chatting to you and extremely intrigued by your collection.
Thank you.